Welcome back, everybody, to the MDNGHT Collective podcast. This is Eddie, and before we get into anything else, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for showing up, thanks for listening, and for choosing to be a part of something deeper than just ourselves, deeper than just another podcast. This space, our space, is not about being perfect, it's about being real, and that's where I want to go today. Last time we talked about prioritizing our mental health, and if that episode hit home for you, then you'll understand why this one feels like the natural next step. Because today, we're going to dive into something that's kind of been sitting heavy on my mind lately, self-empowerment. But I don't mean the polished version we see online, not the wake up at 5 a.m., drink a green smoothie, and hustle until you drop kind. I'm talking about the quiet kind of power, the kind that's built in the background, when nobody's watching, when you're exhausted or unsure, or just trying to hold it together. I'm talking about the power to know yourself, to know your own truth, and to keep going, even when it feels like everything around you is telling you to fold. We, as men, as people, don't really talk about this kind of stuff. We're told that we need to get it together, to man up, to be providers, protectors, leaders, but rarely do we get taught how to lead ourselves. We pour out into everyone around us. Our families, our jobs, our relationships, our children. But we don't even realize how low on our own cup it is until it's bone dry. I know what it feels like to hit that wall, to be respected on the outside, but feel lost on the inside. And if you've ever been there, if you're there now, you're not alone. So let's sit with this for a minute. Let's breathe. No rush, no steps, no fixing. Just being here. Now, I want to start this off by saying that self-worth is at the heart of everything we're going to be talking about. And let's get clear about something. Your worth isn't measured by productivity, by how many likes you get, or how many people validate you. Your worth is something that you earn. It's something you have by simply existing. Yet, how many times do we question it, doubt it, or diminish it? We tell ourselves we'll be worthy once we reach that next goal, once we fix what we see as flaws, once we heal from past traumas and relationships, once we become who we think the world expects us to be. But the truth is that you're already there. You are enough right now, exactly how you are. And learning to accept your worth can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to defining yourself through achievements or approval. But self-worth isn't about being flawless, it's about embracing your humanity. It's acknowledging your strengths and your weaknesses, your wins and your struggles, and recognizing that none of it diminishes your value. Your value isn't conditional, it's constant. No mistake, no setback, no moment of doubt can erase it. So here's the challenge. Start treating yourself like someone who matters, because you do. Set boundaries, not as a punishment, but as protection. Rest, not as laziness, but as a necessity. Speak to yourself with kindness, not because you're perfect, but because you're deserving of the compassion. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's yours, and it always has been. Now, self-empowerment to me is a practice. It's not a destination. It's not something you can achieve and check off your list. It's something you build slowly, quietly, daily. And it starts with how you speak to yourself. That's not something I'm very good at over the years, but that's something that I've learned. I've had to build upon. I've had to acquire the talent to be nice to myself, because at the end of the day, we're all our own hardest critics. But that little voice in your head, it's shaping the way that you move through the world. It's either tearing you down or lifting you up. And most of us, that voice is brutal. You ever catch yourself saying things that you'd never say to someone you love? I'm failing. I'll never get this right. I'm not doing enough. Where do those words even come from? Probably childhood. Probably culture. Maybe from people who couldn't handle your greatness. So they tried to shrink you. But now it's your voice. And it's your responsibility to change that narrative. To change those generational curses, those generational ideals and those things that were pushed on your parents, your grandparents, those things that were pushed on you. And I'm not saying go stand in the mirror and scream, I'm a king, because unless that's your thing, I'm saying talk to yourself like someone you're building, like someone who deserves your own patience, your own belief. Start saying, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm learning. I've survived 100% of my hardest days. I'm not perfect, but I'm not broken either. That's where it begins. Not in loud motivation, in quiet belief. Something that I came across a couple weeks ago was, this exercise. Sit down, write down every single thing bad that has ever happened to you, and go through that list and look at them, and then think about it in a way of, I've made it through all of these things. I've come out on the other side of every single thing on this list, and the list may be long, it may be short, but the list is still true. The list is still things that have happened, that you've gone through, that you've came out of, and you're a better person for it. You've become a better person for it. All of your wins are because of your losses. But here's the tricky part about that. The world doesn't slow down to let you catch up. It keeps pushing. So we keep going. Even when our mental health is shaky, even when we're tired, even when we don't know who we are anymore. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your own power, I want you to know it makes sense. And that's okay. I also want to challenge you to come back home to yourself, to take ownership, not just of your schedule or your body, but of your story. Start asking the hard questions. What do I really want? What's really draining me? Who am I trying to prove something to? And let's be real, it's hard to feel empowered when you don't even feel like yourself. Sometimes empowerment looks like setting a boundary. Sometimes it looks like we're going to therapy. Sometimes it looks like canceling plans and getting rest. I'm guilty of that very, very often. But sometimes it's lifting heavy weight. Sometimes it's letting go of baggage you've been dragging for years. Like getting rid of that person in your life that just keeps coming back. They keep popping up. Get rid of it. Let it go. There's no one size fits all here. There's just you. Being honest with yourself and choosing to walk toward the man you're meant to be. The man that you envision yourself to be. For me, a big part of that journey has always been to learn to sit in silence, to cut the noise, to put the phone down, to just breathe, meditate, think, or just be one with myself. It's wild how much clarity can come when you're not distracted. And I know it's uncomfortable. It really can be. But we fill our schedules and scroll endlessly because silence forces us to face ourselves. And sometimes you don't like what you see. But you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. You can't build strength without confronting weakness. Stillness is power. Solitude is where truth reveals itself. Another thing I've been reflecting on, the people I keep around me. Your circle matters. If you're always surrounded by people who drain you, who downplay your goals, who only know how to numb and not grow, that's going to affect you. Whether you realize it or not, find your tribe. Find the people who challenge you to rise. Men who are also trying to be better, not just look better. People who will call you out and call you forward. And listen, all of this, everything we're talking about, none of it works if you're not willing to show up. Not just once, not just when it's convenient, but every day. In the small ways, that's where the power is. Not in the highlight reel, in the mornings when you get up when you don't want to, in the moments you choose honesty over hiding, in the decisions that no one claps for, but you know deep down, that was growth. So I get it. Showing up isn't glamorous. It's not the kind of thing you can post for likes or validation. But it's private, it's gritty, and it's often very lonely. There's no trophy for getting out of bed on a hard day, no standing ovation for going to therapy, for setting boundaries, or saying no to something that used to destroy you. But that's where the real transformation begins. Not when the world sees you differently, but when you start to see yourself differently. When you start believing that you're worth the effort, that your peace is worth protecting, that your story deserves a better chapter. Sometimes growth looks like discipline, staying focused, keeping your promises, moving forward. And sometimes it looks like softness, knowing when to rest, when to feel, when to ask for help. Either way, it's valid. Either way, it counts. You're not always going to feel like you're making progress. There will be days where you feel stuck. There will be setbacks, detours, and moments when you wonder if you're just spinning your wheels. But hear this. Just because it doesn't look like progress doesn't mean it isn't. Healing, evolving, becoming is not linear. Some days are about breakthroughs. Some days are about survival. And some days are about planting seeds you won't see bloom for a long time. But they're still growing. You're still growing. And maybe that's the hardest part. Trusting the process. When you can't see the outcome, choosing to believe there's something on the other side of the struggle, it gets hard. But that's when showing up really matters. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about meeting yourself where you are. Over and over again. With grace. With grit. And with brutal honesty. And if no one else has told you lately, that effort counts. That quiet kind of courage, it matters. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to return to who you already are. Under the pressure, under the doubt, under the noise, you are already powerful. You just forgot. Or maybe no one ever told you. So let me be the one to remind you, you are worthy. You are capable. And you are allowed to take up space in this world fully. All right, that's what I've got for today. This wasn't a step-by-step. This was a moment, a conversation, a reminder. If anything here hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, text it to a friend, send it to a sibling, your cousin, your coworker, someone you know who is struggling in silence. Just have them listen. And if you're the one struggling right now, know this. You are not weak for feeling heavy. You're strong for carrying it. But it's okay to set it down too. This is the MDNGHT Collective. We're in this together. One day at a time. One truth at a time. One man at a time. So until next time, keep showing up. You are worth it.